Alright, okay, so we've just got Christine and Michael then. No Jimmy lines. Or no Jeremy lines. No Jimmy lines either. Just curled up in my lap.
Jimmy's lines as he revs up again and says meow.
Meow! Alright, okay. Let's get cracking. There was something about the aquarium that Michael had always liked. He wasn't entirely sure what it was, but it hadn't dissipated when he somehow managed to pull a cleaning job there like he had expected it to. The mess everywhere, the litter, the disrespect, the asshole customers, none of it seemed to bother him enough to make him not enjoy it anymore. Plus, he got to spend every one of his lunch breaks looking at the exhibits, even getting to see the newest editions before they got put out. Add that to the fact that his boss didn't seem to mind anything at all, and he pretty much had a perfect job. He could even wear his headphones while working, which made his job that much easier. Gotta crush that anxiety somehow. Speaking of which, here she comes now.
Oh, this is me. Michael, I have a job for you.
Before this job, he didn't know that you could be happy about having a new job, but Christine always managed to spin it as a good thing, somehow. Pulling his headphones off his ears and resting them around his neck, Michael beamed back at her.
Sure, boss. What you need?
She beckoned him to follow, leaving the floor through a private door into the maze of back rooms before he suddenly felt a key card being pressed into his hands.
Whose line is this?
I think that's Christine again.
This is should swipe you in the room at the back of my office. New delivery had a couple spillages and I need you to clean it all up. That okay?
The delivery room? As in, the forbidden room that only Christine was ever allowed in? And apparently she had read his thoughts like a book.
I know you're not supposed to go in there, but I have some admin things I absolutely need to get done.
Makes sense.
Okay, I'm on it.
She grabbed his arm just as he went to leave.
Oh, and I need you to sign an NDA.
What?
Not that I don't trust you, it's just...
She paused for a second or two to get the right phrasing.
The newest exhibit is a little... incredible. I don't know how we managed to get it.
Right, okay, sure.
He responded, kind of taken aback, and Christine pulled a clipboard and pen out of nowhere to hand to him.
How did you...
He started, but stopped himself, reading and muttering to himself.
Will not close. Blah blah. No such. A time is becomes public knowledge.
He slurred a little, before signing at the bottom and handing both items back.
Thanks, Michael. You're a lifesaver. One more thing. I named him Jeremy. Be nice to... I jumped ahead, sorry.
She pointed to him as he walked away.
Be nice to him.
Who?
You'll see.
She called back, and then she was gone. Holding the card up to the reader, the green light flashed and the door clicked as it unlocked. Michael could just walk in. Walk right into the forbidden room, as he and his coworkers affectionately called it, and look all around. Not just could, Christine had actively asked him to, and made him sign an NDA. Fucking hell. What was he in for?
No pointing back in that now.
He whispered under his breath, pushing the door It wouldn't budge. He waited too long. The door timed out.
Good job, Mel. Great start.
Swiping again, he pushed the door open and stepped through, flicking on the light when the door closed with a soft click. Wow, Christine was right. It was a mess in here. There was water all over the floor, mud and dust tracked in everywhere. Plus, the glass making up the massive tank in the middle of the room was absolutely filthy. It was huge, though. Like, bigger than a shark transport tank. What was in this thing? As if on cue, the house in the corner rattled slightly, explaining why the tank seemed empty. Right, got it. Well, if he was under an NDA, it would probably be best to ignore it, right? At least then he wouldn't know the information that he can't talk about. Makes the non-disclosure part of that much easier. He slipped his headphones back on his ears and started on the far side of the room, mopping up the spillage and dirt, cleaning in front of him as he walked backwards around the room. Settling into a rhythm, Michael almost completely forgot about the elephants in the room. That was until he accidentally bumped into the tank and span around to stare the elephant dead in the face. Wait. face? After a couple of seconds of processing, Michael looked up and down the creature that he had, reluctantly, been incredibly curious about. The bottom of it was very fishy. Scales lined the creature from its torso to the tip of its tail, spreading flat just like a fin. The whole thing let out a green iridescent sheen with each flick and shift. Speaking of fins, there were 2 big ones protruding from its spine. Everything above the torso is a lot more human. The green faded out to a light peach, just a little more flush than your average white person. It had arms and fingers, although the latter seemed to be webbed quite heavily, and the skin itself still had a shiny quality that Michael couldn't quite place. Stop calling him it, you think to yourself. Christine said he, so you should too. His face was, except for being a little sharper, frighteningly similar to a human's, soft blue eyes piercing through the glass.
Wow.
Was all he could muster, putting his right hand flat up against the glass. It was only then that he noticed it wasn't just him staring. Jeremy was clearly staring back at him, putting his left hand against the glass, lining them up.
You're a bit skinnier than me, Jer.
He said, and the other shook his shoulders in a way that could be interpreted as a laugh.
Whoa, kinda looked like you understood me there.
He pulled his hand away, and Jeremy nodded. Wait, what?
You can understand me?
He nodded again, rubbing a webbed hand through his very human-looking brown hair.
Fucking hell.
He muttered, pulling softly on the strings of his hoodie, and snuggled a little closer into the red fabric. Gills pulsing slightly.
Don't laugh at me. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I skipped ahead.
It's okay. Gills pulsing slightly, Jeremy cracked a smile and shook his shoulders again.
Don't laugh. That's the line.
Michael retorted playfully before letting out a big sigh. What have you gotten yourself into, Mel? Alright, we got a little note here. This is P.S. Some fucker bastard bitch told me that they suggested this for Will at Home Selection while I have your attention. Okay, thank you for single-handedly reviving my desire to write. Y'all are great and I appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much for reading this. And I didn't pick up on that one time.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
It was lovely.
Oh,
Also, you're not alone. When I suggested like a year-long fic like a couple of streams ago, like while everyone was reading it, I was noticing spelling mistakes and all that. So you're fine. This is normal.
yeah. It really doesn't like break the flow of the writing. So
Yeah.
you're good.
Okay.